I owned a small electrical company beforehand. It was about money, not emotions. But he hated the other contractor, and it just was a bitter job. Turned out beautiful. Once we did that one, we said is enough's enough. I've been working with an investment realtor for 12 years doing electrical, and she's from the Niagara region, and she started getting us a little bit of work, and then our name got out there, and then it just snowballed, and I started working with the Right Club and Rockstar, and a maximum of 17 projects at once.
Oh, wow.
Um, I'm not sure I'd do that again. I'll help you, even if we're not working together.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here, and in today's video I sit down again with John from Blackjack Contracting and talk about exactly how did he go about starting his contracting business. If you guys didn't know, John was originally, and still is, an electrician that decided to build a contracting business, and in fact it all started around a bet. I wonder if that's why he called it Blackjack Contracting. Anyways, let's dive into today's video and learn more about John and Blackjack Contracting and the story behind it.
What is up, YouTube? Matt McKeever here. I'm really excited for today's video. We're going to dive into the story behind Blackjack Contracting. So I've got John here with us on today's video. Hey, John, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
Good. So for you guys that maybe haven't seen our videos with Blackjack before this, Blackjack, they're based in the Golden Horseshoe, so doing a lot of projects and a lot of income suites or basement suites in the Brantford, Welland, and kind of anywhere and everywhere in between in that region. So I'm really excited, John. Just kind of tell us, how did you get into becoming a contractor? And as well, how did you end up starting to specialize with investors? Because I think that's really interesting as well, because a lot of investors I know would love to find a contractor that specializes in just dealing with other investors.
Yeah, so it's a funny story, and I think I've told it a few times, but I owned a small electrical company beforehand, and I ended up getting hooked up with another contractor that specialized in investment real estate, but it was a terrible contractor. He tried hard, he was a nice guy, but he wasn't very good. So one day we were having lunch with him after we were done our shift on a Friday, and I said, I bet you I could do it better. And so he gave us one of his own projects because he was backlogged, and we took it on, ups and downs. But then we got more, and we got more, and then so naturally we fell into the investor market, and then halfway through we've done a few other projects, and we decided to focus strictly on investors because it's just what we do, and it was about money, not emotions, and that was easier to understand. So we've been doing it for over 3 years now. We've done 73, something like that, basement suites. We're starting to get into, we've done some flips, we've done some single family renos, and student rentals. Like now the burr, which is everybody wants to do. So we're doing that's pretty popular these days, and so yeah, it's been a wild ride, but it's as I said before, investors is all we're going to do. That's this company. We're not doing anything else.
I love it. And so if I remember correctly, I think you mentioned that there was a little bit of a story behind that really first income suite that you took on. Do you mind just sharing a little bit more about what that was all about?
Yeah, so the first income suite we ever started was over that bet. Did you hear that part a second ago?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Was over that bet, and so the contractor forgot to put HVAC in his quote, forgot to include countertops. The customer loved my partner and I. Bill, I have a business partner named Bill Drake, and he loved us, and we were just doing it ourselves. I was still doing electrical, but we were just doing this place ourselves. Loved us to death, but he hated the other contractor, and it just was a bitter job. Turned out beautiful, but so it was just one of those. And then we did one more for that same guy. Again, customer loved us. I'm still working with that guy today. I was at his house this morning, actually, and again, same problems. The customer just hated that company, but loved us. So once we did that one, we said is enough's enough. And I've been working with an investment realtor for 12 years doing electrical, and she's from the Niagara region, and she started getting us a little bit of work, and then our name got out there, and then it just snowballed, and I started working with the Right Club and Rockstar and all the popular investor groups, and And now, to tell you the honest truth, right now it's easy.
That's awesome. So paint a picture for us. Where are you today? Are you guys doing multiple projects at once? Do you just have one project at a time? What's that look like?
So pre-COVID, we had done a maximum of 17 projects at once.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure I'd do that again. It was I didn't get sleep much. Right now, we have 12 active projects, but unfortunately, some are in delayed stage because of COVID, and we can't get inspections in St. Catharines. So, feel really bad for those investors, but we've called the MPP, we've called everybody. We just can't get an inspection. They're refusing to do video inspections too. So, so right now we're like, now that COVID's opened up for us, we've started 5 things this week. We do things in a big fashion, so like a rotation system. So we'll use a framer, electricians on another site, plumbers at another site. So it's a big rotation, so that allows us to do a bunch at one time. I built a lot of relationships in the electrical industry, doing favors for everybody. And so now I have, professional window guy on staff, trim carpenters, electricians. We work with regular plumbers, that we work with regular HVAC guys, stuff like that. So once you build those relationships, which is very important in this business, you can trust them. They're going to get these jobs done. You can handle quite a bit.
Awesome. I love it. And one of the things that I think really stands out for me, because you're working with a lot of investors, you actually kind of understand like the investor eye, right? So in a previous video, we kind of went through and you were showing you guys very much have a formulaic recipe, right? To kind of what your finishes look like.
That's right. Like last year, we used 27,000 square feet of the exact same floor. I think it was 700 gallons of the exact same paint. I was looking at it the other day. I think we bought 24,000 linear feet of the exact same trim. You guys get the point. So 99% of the time, the basements look exactly the same. My father messaged me the other day, can you please do something else? Right. But I mean, it works, it rents, it appraises really well, and it's really easy to repeat. Sometimes a customer will ask for a different paint color. No problem. You take your pick. We don't actually care. But the product sells well. IKEA kitchens, and I hate IKEA, but for investors, they're the best solution. Warranty, speed. You break a door off, you go get another one. You don't have to pull cabinets, and so it's IKEA kitchens. Vanities we switch up every once in a while, but you get the point. It's going to be exactly the same. Tiles the same. And so it makes no guesswork. You can, for pricing, for speed, like it's cost-effective materials that look great, are going to last. And like we don't buy cheap MDF trim. We buy wood trim because I found a place to get it at a bulk. So you're getting nicer quality trim that's going to last longer. We use North Star Windows, which has one of the best industry warranties in the industry, and that's just because I was fortunate enough to get hooked up from my window guy. So we don't want cheap stuff that's going to fall apart, because I don't want to deal with you callbacks any more than you want to call me for callbacks, right? So, so I mean, we've been doing it. We've done as many, and callbacks are very slim and few between. So that's the way we want it.
And so because you work with so many investors, have you noticed, is there certain markets or cities that seem to be more popular with investors versus others? Or have you noticed any markets that maybe aren't investor friendly from a renovation perspective, in your opinion?
Yeah. So Hamilton's always popular, but it's a tough price point to get into for a lot of investors. So a lot will go to Brantford, or a lot will go to Niagara. And Welland 2 years ago became a hot spot. We were the first one to do a suite in Welland, and we did like 20, and then people found out, and it's just nuts now. Like prices have gone up $100,000 in a year and a half, and the building department's awesome. They'll get you. The first time we applied for a building permit, we got it in 3 days.
Wow.
Hey YouTube, Matt here. Just want to quickly interrupt and let you guys know, John from Blackjack Contracting, he's actually a real guy. And so I really encourage you guys, if you're looking for a contractor you can trust, someone you can build a long-term relationship with as an investor, I've only heard great things from my fellow investors that have worked with John, but I really do encourage you guys to reach out. He's been sponsoring the Right Club for quite a while now. I've heard great things from their members. I just want to make more great resources available to you guys. guys. So I know contractors are one of those black boxes. A lot of real estate investors struggle to find a good partner in regards to a contractor. I think John could be that contractor for you if you're in the greater Toronto, Hamilton area. So again, link in the video description down below. Feel free to check out John, hit him up, and tell Matt sent you.
Now it's a week or so, but the point is they're great to work with. The building inspectors are great. They're reasonable. Same with Hamilton. Hamilton's slow to get the permit, the paperwork part, but once you're out in the job site, the inspectors are awesome, get the jobs done quick. Brantford seems to be that way too, the investor friendly. And then there's St. Catharines. St. Catharines, we'll start. I usually go on a huge long rant, which we don't have time for, but St. Catharines is not is an investment friendly city. It's simple. They don't want it. They've told us in private, but they won't publicly announce it. They don't like second suites, but they're forced to do so. But they have 2 zoning rules, which is very important. There's R1 and R2. R1 is an accessory dwelling. R2 is a duplex. Very big difference. So an accessory dwelling, maximum 640 square feet. So usually the basements are 1,000. Well, you figured if you're just going to abandon 300 square feet, you don't have to do nothing. No, you have to fireproof it to the 9. So you'll spend $15,000-$20,000 more in St. Catharines and get half a basement compared to working with places like Welland. And the building inspectors are famously, notoriously difficult. I found out in private a couple of days ago that the building department's actually getting sued by multiple contractors. I just found this out. And it all makes sense because, I mean, they've cost us a fortune in time and problems. And so I can say anything. I don't recommend St. Catharines.
Gotcha. Appreciate the perspective. Let's talk a little bit about the quoting process. So what does that look like for you guys, and what could a customer expect when it comes to quoting? Do I just call you up and say, hey, I've got a bungalow, I want to do a basement suite, or how should I kind of approach the relationship with you?
So we have multiple processes. So I try to tell people when I meet them that if you're going to see a property and you really like it and you think it's something you want to think, I'll go with you. And I'll tell you right on the spot the approximate value of the reno. And sometimes I've already seen it and they call me and we'll do a video call and we'll walk through and I can give ballpark numbers as long as I've seen some basic stuff. I sometimes do the home inspections because I have the ability to. I'm not a licensed home inspector, but I know what I'm looking for when it comes, especially if I'm going to do the reno.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to go shopping with you. I'm willing to go.
That's amazing. I just want to jump in there for a second. So I used to do the exact same thing with my contractors and electricians is rather than have a home inspector, I just bring them through because I'd be like, guys, you're going to be the ones doing the work anyway. So like, tell me what I'm dealing with here.
Exactly. And I'd rather see it at the beginning because a lot of the times what they'll miss is the expensive part. Like if that house is on ground number 2, you get the point. That's going to cost $5,000-$8,000. Well, catch that right up front. Plumbing is another one, galvanized, cast, that kind of stuff. The insurance, we can catch that right up front. So I actually love to be part of the process from the beginning. And that way there's no surprise. I don't like the conversation after the project starts that I have to ask you for more money. I hate it. I try very hard not to do it. So I'll be honest with you, my price on the original quote is usually a tiny bit higher than my competitors, but it ends up being cheaper in the end because I don't do change orders. Ask me for quotes or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't like the conversation, and that's that contractor I referred to that got us started was very famous for it, and it infuriates people, especially
it does
because you're running your numbers based off this, and then it changes. People hate it, so I don't want to be part of it. And so usually when I give you a price, if I miss something, I pay for it, and that's kind of a principle in this company. So
I love that philosophy, John. So if I get a quote from you, what does that actually look like? Like, do I have one number that I can kind of count on? Is it time plus materials? Like, what does it look like?
Very rarely is it time and materials, unless like I've done a couple JV structures that way. And, honestly, it's not a great system in my opinion. But no, usually what I'll do is I'll give you a detailed quote. It'll be broken down by section: framing, electrical, plumbing, finish, kitchen. It'll be all itemized, and you'll see a grand total, taxes in, and that's the price.
Awesome. Anything else people should know in regards to, say, if they want to work with you, if they're going to reach out, your website's the best source?
You reach out to us on the website, Facebook, Instagram. If you go through the website, it'll go right to me. and that way it'll go through my my CRM. So I got your info, and then if you guys just want advice or you want to talk, I don't mind. Set up a video call. I have a Calendly link on my website, and you can book a time with me, and I'll help you even if we're not working together. So anytime, feel free.
Awesome, John. Well, it's just great getting to connect with a professional contractor that deals with investors, that actually understands the investor perspective. Whenever you guys decide to come down from the Golden Horseshoe to London, Ontario, Sarnia, Windsor, and anywhere in between those 3 regions, you definitely got to let us know, because I look forward to working with someone as professional as you.
Appreciate it, Ben.
Thanks again to John and Blackjack Contracting for coming on the channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel. If you guys want to reach out to John, we're going to throw all his information in the video description down below, so feel free to reach out to him. Sounds like he's willing to do free quotes. And I know how my channel goes when they hear the word free, so just please be respectful of his time and energy. But again, he seems like a great contractor, and I encourage you guys to reach out if you're looking for a new contractor to add to your power team. Contractors are absolutely critical to your long-term success as a real estate investor. So whether it's John or another contractor, you need to be focused on building relationships with contractors, not just transactions. When you're going to Kijiji and just finding the absolute cheapest person on an hourly basis, understand that you're being transactional and not relationship oriented. And there's a big reason why at Cash Flow Tribe, we're constantly talking about relationships, because I mean, that's how I built my empire, and it's how I think a lot of successful people build their empires. It's based upon their reputation and their relationships. All right, thank you guys again. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and until next time, remember, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money in this world for us to all make it, but if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point? Thanks, guys.